Well, hi there, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. My name is Dave Dubeau, and I've got a very special guest with me this week. This is none other than Wagner Cardozo, my assistant, my marketing assistant here at Canadian Profits. And Wagner's also the guy who's usually behind the camera putting together our videos. So it's kind of a change to have you here in front of the camera. What do you have to say to everybody, Wagner?
I prefer to stay behind the camera for sure.
All right, Wagner likes to be behind the camera, but that's okay. It's all about getting comfortable being uncomfortable, as our friend Bob Molly would say. So this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV is completely different. Why? Because when you're watching this, it will actually be Canada Day, or actually it'll be July 2nd, right?
Yes.
Okay, the day after Canada Day. So we're just celebrating our nationhood, our national day, and what Wagner and I want to do is a top 10 things that we like and that we love about Canada and Canadians. All right, it's a little bit different, but it's important when it's this time of the year, when it's Canada Day, that we appreciate this phenomenal country where we live. So let's just jump into it. We'll go into it, and I'll say most of them, and then Wagner and I'll talk about some of them together. So my number 10 thing I love about Canada are the highways. Actually, we'll talk a little bit about this, but I lived overseas for 14 years in Mexico, throughout Central America, and Costa Rica. Loved it. It was fantastic. But driving down there is a little bit of a challenge. Driving in many, many places outside of North America and Western countries is quite a challenge. So being able to get out on the highway, just cruise along, put the cruise control on, not worry about huge potholes and obstructions in the road and skinny, teeny-weeny little two-lane roads and that sort of thing is such a huge thing that we take for granted here. What do you think about driving here in Canada?
I love driving here because in Brazil it's really hard.
That's right. So in case you didn't notice, Wagner has a little bit of an accent. He's originally from Brazil. He's been in Canada for what?
3 years almost.
Just about 3 years now. All right, so that's number 10. Number 9, this is actually one of Wagner's favorite things about Canada, is the variety of different kinds of food that we get here in the country. So because Canada is a melting pot of so many different, actually it's what we call a mosaic, I guess, of so many different cultures, there's a huge variety of different things that you can eat. So tell us a little bit about that, Wagner.
Yeah, we don't have this in Brazil. Brazil is very local about food, and here you can have food from everywhere.
And you like that?
I love it.
And why do you like pizza so much?
And burgers?
And burgers, yeah. Pizza and burgers is two favorite things. All right, thing number 8 that we love about Canada is just the beauty of our natural surroundings. This is one phenomenal country. So a lot of times as Canadians, we're fantasizing about going off to tropical climates. Hell, I lived in one for 14 years, or going somewhere else, or going on vacation here, there, and everywhere. We neglect to realize that millions and millions, if not billions of people would love to come here and see what we have as far as natural beauty and natural wonders go. So it is an absolutely gorgeous country. Brazil's pretty nice too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brazil's beautiful too. But it's Canada is phenomenal, beautiful, beautiful country. So that is number 8. Number 7, the sheer size of this country. So again, I live down in Costa Rica. Costa Rica, the entire country is about twice the size of Vancouver Island. Took me a long time to get my head around how small it was, really, compared to Canada. Especially because I grew up north in Fort St. John. It was a 14-hour drive, straight drive, to get from Fort St. John to Vancouver for me when I was going to university. So I was really used to those wide open highways, long drives, big distances, and it's something that I've really grown to appreciate. Now Brazil's pretty big too, isn't it?
Yes.
Exactly.
Not big like Canada, but really big.
Pretty close. It's very, very big. So the size of it. Number 6, and this might come as a surprise to you, but I really appreciate the Canadian economy and the stability of the Canadian dollar. You might raise your eyebrow at that, but when I was working and doing business in Costa Rica, we had to deal with not only inflation, but we also had to deal with devaluation. So that means inflation, cost of everything is going up, plus the value of the local currency compared to the standard of the American dollar was going down on a regular basis. So that made things very, very challenging. It means that things were going up in price every month. You could see a big difference in prices in the local currency. In fact, I was thrilled to get a mortgage with a 20% interest rate on my mortgage. Credit card interest rates over 50% a year. So that's what I was used to for many, many years. So compared to that, Canada is just fantastic. How about compared to Brazil? Same idea?
Yeah, we have the same problem in Brazil. We cannot plan ahead for a long time, and here you can organize your budget and think ahead. So this is a good thing about Canada.
Beautiful thing. So you don't take that into account when you're a native Canadian that this is all we've known. All right, getting into our top 5. Reason number 5 that I love Canada are the health services here, the health and emergency services here. And I had an experience in Latin America where I had an unexpected asthma attack. It was very, very serious. It was a Wednesday night, 1 o'clock in the morning. Nothing major was going on in town. And it was a very serious health crisis I went through. We called the ambulance. It didn't show up. Called the ambulance again 20 minutes later. Still didn't show up. My wife ended up having to take me off to the hospital myself. I got there. They said I was lucky I got there when I did. Another 5-7 minutes, I probably would have had cardiac arrest because the damn ambulance didn't show up. Get to Canada, get back to Canada, and it seemed like the first couple of years I was here, I saw quite a few different little fender benders and little things like that. The second you call 911 here, it seems like within 3 or 4 minutes, not only do you have an ambulance there, you got a police car, an ambulance, and probably 2 fire trucks to darn near anything that goes on. Bang, it's immediate, it just happens right away. Talk about a sense of security if something goes wrong. Again, something that we don't always appreciate unless we live here. Number 4, just the general infrastructure of the country. So when you live in second and third world countries, you kind of get used to things breaking down all the time, not working, just being out of commission. I can remember once walking down the street, wasn't paying much attention. I was in my suit with my briefcase, and the manhole, it's almost like a cartoon. The manhole cover was gone from one of the manholes. I put one leg in, just about fell down the darn thing, and I from then on I paid a lot more attention. But that stupid manhole cover never got replaced for like a year. Okay, that sort of thing doesn't happen too often here in Canada. So the infrastructure, things working when they should, how they should, our tax dollars in some cases being put to good use is something I definitely appreciate about Canada. All right, number 3, our top 3, safety and security. So Wagner, talk to us a little bit about that, because that was a big reason you and Gisa and your daughter immigrated to Canada.
Yeah, so we were looking for a country like Canada when we can raise our family in a safety and security place. So we don't have this in Brazil. Brazil is a beautiful country, but we cannot walk like we walk here in Canada. We don't need to think here about is this place safe to go? Everywhere here, I think, is safe to go.
Compared to certain areas, exactly.
Yes.
So that was a big reason Wagner came to Canada in the first place. It's something I definitely appreciated coming back. Again, Costa Rica is a beautiful country, and relatively speaking for Latin America, very safe. However, compared to Canada, it's night and day. I mean, in Latin America and many, many places in the world, you get accustomed to the fact that you're going to be living in a fenced-off compound.
Yeah.
All the houses have big fences, electric fences sometimes, armed guards out in the streets. This kind of thing, it's hard to get used to as a Canadian. It's something we don't have to even think about here. So safety and security, even though there have been a few little incidents like the Eaton Centre in Toronto, compared to almost everywhere else in the world, we've got it made. All right, reason number 2, opportunities. Talk to us a little bit about your thoughts about opportunities in Canada versus other places, Wagner.
Yeah, so the feeling I have about Canada, you can do almost however you want here. So if you have a dream, so you can work hard and you can reach this here in Canada. I don't think we can do everywhere, but the feeling I have since we moved to Canada 3 years ago is, so you have a dream, just work hard and you can do that here.
That's true, and I kind of have that experience as well. Even though I'm native Canadian, I lived overseas for a long time. I came back almost like a new immigrant. No credit, no contacts, not much money, the whole bit. Started all over again, and have built up a very good life for myself and my family quite quickly. You cannot do that everywhere in the world. So there are tons and tons and tons of opportunities here in Canada. You just have to take advantage of them. All right, and our number one thing that we love about Canada is
Canadians.
Canadians. Exactly. This is the thing that Wagner and I both agreed upon as our number one thing that we like most about Canada are Canadians. So what do you like about Canadians, seeing that you're a relatively new immigrant to the country?
You guys are so friendly.
There we go.
And we love it.
It's true, especially Canadian profits people, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Of course. Canadian profits people especially. Canadians are very, very, very friendly, got a great sense of humor, and lived overseas, like I said, for a long time, connected with a lot of people, but there's nothing like being back home in Canada, connecting with Canadians, having Canadian friends. Just feels like we can really see things on the same wavelength. So these are all the things that Wagner and I both appreciate about Canada and about Canadians. And I hope this has given you a little bit of an insight to help you appreciate a little bit more the phenomenal country that we live in. Take care. All right, that's it for this week's special episode of Canadian Profits TV. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, keep your eye open. We've got a few training opportunities coming up for rent-to-own real estate investing. So on July 10th, we're going to have a new webinar called The 5 Steps to Rent-to-Own Success. That's on July 10th. The 5 Steps to Rent-to-Own Success, and you can register for that at CanadianProfitsWebinar.com. And if you're in Ontario or Quebec, myself and the family are coming out to visit you. Love to have you come out to one of our rent-to-own 3-way payday live events, live training events. It's going to be in London, Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal on the July 17th, 19th, 23rd, and 25th. And to check that out, check out 3waypayday.com. Wagner, thanks a lot, buddy, for being part of this special presentation today. And
My
for
pleasure.
Usually being behind the scenes, but great to have you here in front of the camera. Take care. Have a great week. Hope you had a fantastic long weekend. Bye-bye.